This is the preview of card that's going to take place on the weekend. That is UFC 263, and this psycho suggested we preview every single fight on the card. And
every single one.
And lay it all out for you. You know how Heavy Hands usually just do a preview of the whole card and discuss the entire card, and then put the prelims as they put it out on their Patreon as a bonus thing. This is you are privileged. We decided to give you the privilege to listen.
The whole thing, baby. I mean, if you ever wanted us to talk about Carlos Felipe, oh baby.
Getting you the full length, giving you the full length. You're getting it. All right, it's enough fucking around, I guess. So, yeah, how do we do it? Do we start from the bottom or do we start from the top?
I mean, let's go with your suggestion and give the people the main event. I mean, the fake main event. We'll get to the real one eventually.
Yeah, this is I think Wikipedia fucked up the order, so it's actually backwards, and the entire PR system of the UFC fucked up the whole thing. So anyway, the fake main event, Israel Adesanya versus Marvin Vettori. The co-main is Davison Figueiredo versus Brandon Moreno, and followed by Leon Edwards versus Nate Diaz.
5 rounds, by the way.
Oh yeah, Leon Edwards versus Nate Diaz. 5 rounds for some reason. Like, I suppose if it were 3 rounds and Leon Edwards finished Nate Diaz, everyone would still be like, oh, Nate, they didn't give Nate his chance, even though he got knocked out in the first.
Yeah.
A 5-round fighter through and through, despite never going really... Never. Every time he went past the 3rd round, he looked like dog shit. But let's just ignore that.
Yeah. Okay, so we'll begin with middleweight championship. It's Adesanya versus Vettori, the rematch of the excellent fight they had the first time around. Let's not beat around the bush. That fight fucking sucked.
And people were always like, "Oh, Adesanya, like this is an example of a fighter. This is the example of how you should cross over from a different sport like kickboxing to MMA." Adesanya looked excellent in every fight that he showed up, in every fight in the UFC that he's had. And if you ever wanted to like see a person wrestle themselves, take themselves down, go back and watch that fight.
I mean, the first fight is fascinating because it's like Adesanya looked bad, but it's not like Vettori exposed his game or anything, because Vettori himself looked like trash. I mean, and we gotta be honest here, the split decision was bullshit. Like, Easy won all 3 rounds very convincingly. That fucking judge was on crack. Like, I mean, the third, Vettori had some moments, but let's be honest, he didn't win that round. He got his ass kicked.
I mean, it's pretty much like Vettori kind of lucked himself into this title shot. Like, he somehow stumbled and spotted his way to a title shot for some reason. But I mean, this is middleweight. Middleweight is kind of like really light heavyweight, in that it's kind of like 2 or 3 normal guys at the top, and the rest is just...
I mean, present day Vettori is not bad, but he's not good either.
He's not really all that good either. It's kind of
decent enough that you wouldn't complain if he was at lightweight, but he would be like outside the top 15 or something, I guess. I mean, he's very physical.
He'd be a random action fighter on the early prelims.
Yeah, he's huge. He's physical. The grappling's pretty legit, and he's an all-rounder. So, being a huge all-rounder worked for Blachowicz. So who knows? They're still very different, but the principle.
Sriram likes to say that Vettori is kind of like a meat and potatoes fight, but without the meat. It's just mashed potatoes, and that's literally it.
With a bit of gravy.
Yeah, and I made that joke the other day where I said that Vittori more like, and then I just stay silent because
But
I mean
But
Vittori is kind of like Volkanovski if Volkanovski had Vittori's brain, like. Because Volkanovski's game is also being kind of an all-rounder with no standout qualities of his own in every phase of the fight. It's just the sum of the parts.
He's smart as fuck, and Vettori is not.
Let's
put it politely. but I think he has a chance here. I mean, if anything, the Jan fight exposed that Izzy sucks off his back. People got under the impression that Izzy was good off his back because he set up a horrifying triangle against Gastelum, and Gastelum stared at him like a fucking idiot.
It was kind of like Izzy was rolling around and just decided to slap on a triangle on a whim, pretty much. Like, I'm just gonna go for a triangle, and Gastelum was just standing there.
I saw this shit on YouTube that one time.
Yeah, and Gastelum was just standing there. Oh. And he keeps just standing there. Okay. Yeah, secure that triangle. Yeah.
Like after like a whole minute, he was like, "All right, I'm supposed to defend against this shit."
And then he just gets out.
And let's not forget that Vettori is Kelvin's teammate, so he basically has this on the bag.
I mean, it's kind of like a classic Adesanya matchup, like a forward-moving meathead, and Adesanya being Adesanya. And so we've pretty much seen him navigate matchups like this pretty easily before. And I mean, the Gastelum fight was kind of like, in retrospect, it's kind of like a bad look for both fighters.
Yeah. but if anything, the Gastelum fight tell us that Cordero has a pretty good read on Izzy.
Yeah, it's just that he doesn't really have the fighters who could exploit that to its fullest extent.
Maybe Vettori's a little bit better equipped to execute the game plan because Kelvin is like not flexible at all. Marvin is more of a blank canvas to put game plans on.
I mean, if he were a fighter kind of like Henry Cejudo, who where you would just tell him what to do and he would just do it, then it might have worked. But it's probably it's kind of like a very thin margin to bet. Bet on Vettori here, because like the thing with Blachowicz is that many people said that Blachowicz exposed Izzy, but the thing that made Blachowicz's entire game plan work is that Blachowicz exhibited like career best discipline, and also Vettori compared to Jan doesn't really have the same physicality because Jan is huge.
I mean, but Vettori is huge for middleweight. Jan is fucking huge for the weight class, for the next weight class. So
yeah, like Jan has this really weird build in that I think if he were to actually train his legs, he would not make light heavyweight anymore because he has kind of like
fucking enormous.
He has a heavyweight's upper body, but a light heavyweight lower body. It looks really bizarre. And another incredibly important aspect is that that Vettori does not really have Jan's hitting power. The threat of Jan's hitting power puts kind of like a hard cap on how many things.
Also, Izzy feels a lot more comfortable dealing with a jab from a southpaw. Like he just fight hands, feels a lot more comfortable there. And so I doubt Marvin Vettori will have much success with the jab. But if he can take down Izzy, he can go at it because Marvin is actually pretty decent on top and he's very big. So who knows? I mean, obviously the pick is Izzy, but
The thing about Jan jabbing with Adesanya safely was that Jan was sort of insulated by his reach. He actually had he either had a reach advantage over Izzy or reach parity. I don't quite recall, but
yeah, they look pretty similar in
length. Yeah.
Yeah, and also Jan heavy low kicker, something that Vettori isn't too, because like a southpaw, he's based most of his game kicking to the body. So
I mean, if Vettori had decent open space wrestling and good reactive takedowns, he could have went for that. He could go for that, but I don't think he really does that all that much.
So I say let's just close this one. What's your pick? Final pick?
Yeah. Well, if you noticed, we spent more time talking about Blachowicz than we'd spent talking about Vettori. So I think Vittori's only shot is to go in guns blazing, if only to kind of give Adesanya some pause early on. But naturally, when you're trying to push a pace and you lack the tools to do so consistently and safely, the only pace you're dictating is pretty much the pace at which you're getting your ass kicked. So I don't trust Vettori enough to have the wherewithal to do that, stay safe, and kind of exploit to fight a disciplined fight, the same fight that Jan was able to fight, and he does not have the same physical advantages. So I think Adesanya is just going to either kick him up from the distance or just blast him out of there when Vettori
probably
gets into the pocket, because Adesanya's response to his over-reliance on hand traps and frames early on that he exhibited in MMA was to just become incredibly aggressive in first layer pocket exchanges. He just tries to blast you out of there and get out of it and get the hell out of dodge. And I think that's what he's going to do, and he's just going to knock him out either in the third round or maybe earlier. That's my pick. Adesanya, TKO or knockout.
Yeah, I think the chance of a decision is not. I say Marvin is big and has the ability to make Izzy a bit uncomfortable. So
I mean, he's tough.
risk it, and he's stupid tough. So yeah, I go with Izzy by decision. So let's move on to the next fight.
All right, another matchup. Like, if Vettori is Adesanya's fight to lose, this is Brendan Moreno fight is Figueiredo's fight to lose. Because if you go back and watch the first Moreno fight, I mean, the counters were there all day.
Yeah. I mean, he got his ass kicked, but there was still like, I mean, if Moreno is smart, then to be honest, I don't know if he is. but there was a lot of lessons to learn. This rematch, to me at least, seems a lot more compelling than the Vettori Adesanya one. I mean, mostly because the first fight kicked ass and the other one sucked. So.
Yeah, the first fight was really, really good, but the only thing that holds it down is the all-time terrible performance from the commentary team. It was just shocking.
Yeah,
Moreno.
They really want Moreno to win. I mean, Moreno.
Yeah, it was very obvious too. Moreno would connect with a jab, and then immediately get cross-counted and hit to the body with hooks and uppercuts. And then Joe Rogan would yell at the top of his lungs but the jab by Moreno though! Whoa!
pretty much.
Yeah, and Moreno looks increasingly beat up. Half his face is hanging off. It's all puffed up. Rogan is still yelling about Moreno coming on strong in the fifth. And Figueiredo he's so tired. He's so gassed. Look at him.
But being honest, I think Moreno does indeed have a better gas tank than Figueiredo. But at the end, on the fifth round, he had so much more damage than Figgy that it didn't matter. At the end, he was so destroyed he couldn't push a pace anymore. But I mean, if he figured out some ways to defend against the counters or lead more safely, I think Moreno can push a pace. And if he can incorporate the takedowns in a way more smart, I mean, he can find some success. I mean, Obviously, I'm not favoring to win. I'll say this outright before people think any stupid thing like I'm picking Moreno. But
Yeah.
but I give, like I said to Dan, like I'll give him a non-zero chance to win this fight.
Yeah, because I mean, we saw Figgy get body locked once again because this is
And
like,
he had no answer for the body lock. It was pretty weird.
yeah, like Figgy. I don't know if it's because Figgy is just a big softie who really, really loves hugs, but I mean, his propensity towards getting body locked out of the blue is fairly concerning, if not embarrassing.
Yep.
And if Moreno is able to add some jab feints and just vary his entries, he could that could be a route to victory. But if Figueiredo is smart, and he is yet to prove that he isn't, I mean, he'll pretty much start ripping into Moreno's body from the word
Yeah,
go.
I think that's the safest chance for him.
Yeah,
but
he'll just destroying Moreno's body with punches and kicks.
As undestructible as Figueiredo looked on the first fight, Moreno hits pretty hard. The chance that he catches him is non-zero, as I say. I mean, I'm favoring Figueiredo all the way, but I think Moreno has an okay shot, like a 10% chance of winning, I would say. If he plays his cards smart.
10% chance of winning an okay shot.
I mean, it's fucking God of War. He's fighting so.
Yeah, I mean, a real power move would be for Figueiredo to kick Moreno in the dick again and get a point deducted and then 10-7 him to a unanimous decision anyway. I mean, he could do that. Like
Imagine if they draw again.
Yeah. And,
like they draw again, but this time they rob Moreno instead of Figgy.
I mean, they could. This is MMA judging. They could.
Judging has been so bad that anything could happen really bad. I mean, if we go back to victory, like Figueiredo should do the same thing again, but just go to the body even harder this time.
Yeah. Just destroy Moreno's body, make the sap his gas tank, which is pretty good, but given the amount of damage that he took in the first fight, I don't know how his durability would hold up. But then again, durability is weird.
Yeah, so, and durability is weird. Goes both ways. Like Figueiredo looks like invincible, but he's pretty old. He has
especially for the weight class, he's very old. Like he's 33 years old, and
the shin might crack at any moment. Like you never know.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm not expecting it to happen this fight, but you never know. Then we'll come like Askarov that has like little pillows for fits. He will knock out Fiki dead. Like.
I mean, there was a really funny moment where Moreno connected with like a slappy head kick on the block.
And the commentary was like, "Oh, he's hurt!"
And Figgy was like, "Oh, I'm all right now." And then kicks Moreno in the head even harder, and then Moreno starts stumbling all over the place, and the commentary booth is just silent. Just completely silent.
It's so fucking weird. Like, the commentary booth was stupid weird, that fight.
Like I don't know if it like honestly seemed like Figueiredo owed them money or something. That's how that's how hard they were rooting for Moreno. But anyway, picks. I think it's very obvious that we're strongly favoring Figgy.
Yeah, I'm going Figgy by decision, but this time the judges won't fuck it up. I mean, you never know. Maybe Figgy pulls up a Peter Jan and does like the incredible stupid foul, and he loses the
Just kicks Moreno in the dick from the opening bell so hard that Moreno can't actually continue.
He's the same kind of stupid mean that Jan is, so...
Yeah. So I guess that's my pick. I'm picking Figueiredo by dick kick. Moving on.
But the judges award him the win to him. Like...
I mean, they should. He won the fight. I think if you dick kick someone and they can't continue, you should be awarded the win because he won the fight.
The ultimate dick kick fighting championship.
All right.
Okay, so the Coco main event.
The Coco main event.
The Coco main event.
The main event that was decided that was booked while the matchmakers were on coke. Coked out of their fucking minds. I don't have any other explanation. Either Nate Diaz was coked out of his mind because he agreed to do this, or the matchmakers were. Because
They're
this is
probably offering Nate like $2 million and Leon Edwards like 2 hamburgers and a soda or something.
It would be really funny if they offered Nate Diaz pay-per-view points without offering pay-per-view points to Figueiredo.
I wouldn't be surprised at all. Like, let's be honest here. Like,
they would probably They probably really did that. I would not be surprised either. But anyway.
Yeah. No, the more I think about it, the more it makes sense. To be honest, like.
I mean, once again. I think you get the idea. This is Leon Edwards' fight to lose. Like MMA.
Yeah, I mean, this is like this should be even wider than the other 2 fights. Like this is very rough.
Yeah, this
is rough for Nate on his prime, and he's not on his prime at all. Like.
I mean, this is MMA's most cuttable man versus MMA's most prolific elbow striker.
Yeah.
Is this a joke?
I mean, other than that, like, if Nate was in his prime and he could box with Leon, it could be a bit interesting. I mean, Leon is going to probably just going to kick his leg anyway, but the boxing would be a bit interesting. But the thing is that Nate's boxing has been looking like shit lately, especially on the Pettis fight. He looked like he was like impaired or something. He looks so fucking bad.
He just looked drunk. He just looks drunk every time he shows up. I mean, it's weird.
I mean, the response to Nate getting bad in open space, because actually, like, Nate is always called like this pressure fighter, but he's more like a pace fighter. He's pretty okay being in open space. He walks forward because people want, but he doesn't like pressuring like Nick does.
He's also bad at pressuring because it doesn't really cut the cage, and every time he moves forward, he just gets pieced up on the back foot by everyone.
But boxing on open space, his footwork is pretty okay, actually. Like, he pivots after the right hook. He has a good idea of angles when he's in open space, but when he tries to push forward, all that notions goes to waste. Like, but I mean, Nate in open space, pretty good. I mean, used to be, because he now looks like trash. Like, that's the thing. Like, the Nate's response to getting bad in open space is like looking for the clinch at every moment. And like, do you really want to be on the clinch with Leon Edwards? Like,
I mean, Leon Edwards also has also shown a really more aggressive approach in the previous Bilal Muhammad fight. Up until the eye poke.
And I guess a pace fighter too, like Bilal Muhammad, and that, like, they're different with Nate Diaz, but he's also a fighter that makes his game work through pace. He couldn't impose a pace at all on Leon.
I mean, if you want to watch how Leon Edwards deals with pressure and pace, just watch the RDA fight.
Yeah, that's one of the last times that RDA tried to really pressure like hard, and Leon dealt with it just fine. Like, I mean, he was way bigger than him, like in lengthwise.
I mean, but it's not like Nate Diaz is also like really all that huge for the weight class compared to Leon Edwards.
That's the thing. Like, if we go by their listed height, like Nate has been the taller fighter most of his life. He's 2 inches shorter than Leon Edwards, so he's just going to get fucking big right here. Like, let's be real.
Nate is not really a welterweight. He's kind of more like a fat lightweight that can't make weight anymore and just doesn't bother making weight.
I mean, yeah. When Nate goes up to welterweight, he never like gets super big. Even though Conor wants us to believe he's like 400 pounds, but like if you
He
like
used sumo-style wrestling to defeat Conor McGregor. Oh, Skip Bayless, never change.
Masvidal looked way bigger than Nate when they fought. Like Masvidal really grew into an actual welterweight.
Yeah.
Nate is still lightweight. Like
Yeah, and Masvidal still looked tiny compared to Usman, who is, who is a fucking monster. But that's neither here nor there. Yeah, I think really Nate Diaz does not really have a safe spot against. Nate Diaz does not have a safe spot against Leon Edwards in any area of the fight, even on the ground. I think, like the best and only thing Diaz can do right in this matchup is to fucking pull guard.
Yeah, like
which is
just pray for a sweep from like open guard or something.
which is not an advice that I ever thought I would ever say about an MMA fight ever. Pull guard in an MMA fight. Like that's where we're at right now.
Yeah, I mean this fight always favored Leon hugely, but with how Nate has looked lately, I don't think we have to talk more about this. It's pretty obvious.
Yeah, Nate is old.
I'm picking Leon to win by a cut. Like, I hate choosing a cut, but how can you not on this fight?
Yeah.
Like,
everyone, like, Edwards could slice Nate's entire face off. People would still insist Nate could have bounced back and won in the fifth. That's just how it is. That's how dumb this fucking fan base is.
So yeah, let's get ready for Nate Diaz fanboys claiming he was about to fuck up Leon on the fifth.
All right, Nate is old, can't cut the cage. His face explodes into a shower of gore from every strike.
He's way smaller than Leon. He'll end up in the clinch a lot, so yeah.
And Edwards is just better as a fighter overall.
Yeah, pretty much.
Edwards, stoppage. That's the pick.
Okay, next fight then is Demian Maia versus, remember the name, Belal Mohamed.
Has Belal Mohamed ever actually defended takedowns in his fights? I don't think so. I don't think he actually faced someone who really pursues takedowns.
Exclusively strikers for the last 2 years or so. Like, he fought Curtis Millender, Takashi Sato, Lyman Goodness. Those are like the guys that least wrestle on the whole division. Like, I mean, he's a decent offensive wrestler himself. That's not always a sign that you can defend, but
yeah,
it's better than nothing. But I mean
Maia is pretty old, and his gas tank is not really there anymore. So
if Mohamed can survive a round on the bottom, because I'm pretty sure he's going to get taken down on the first round. If he can survive that, he has an okay shot, I think. But I mean, Maia still gets takedowns and still has a stupid squeeze. I'm just going with. I think this is the last one for Maia. He gets the rear naked choke on the first round.
Yeah, so if Maia takes Belal Muhammad down in the first, never lets him go, takes him down, and keeps a good hold of him, I am pretty sure Belal is going to get submitted in the first round. And if he survives that, provided he survives that, he has a decent shot at knocking Maia out. But
and even not necessarily knocking him out, but just putting on the pace, Maia will get exhausted. Like,
yeah,
I mean, second round, I start favoring Belal a lot, but I don't think he makes it there. Oh.
Yeah, so I guess first round sub, Demian Maia.
Same.
All right.
Oh, baby.
Paul Craig versus Jamahal Hill. Paul Craig, the greatest light heavyweight in history, the one who defeated the great and terrible Muhammad Ankalaev.
And prime Mauricio Hua.
Mauricio Hua is always in prime. What are you talking about? He's still in his prime. God damn it.
And he will be for the next 10 years.
Yeah.
Okay, so very short. Do you remember that interview? And Shogun was like, "I'm going to worry about my health now." like my brother, you should have done that 10 years ago.
I'm gonna worry about my health now, and all he does is just start buying Diet Coke instead of normal Coke. Fuck's sake.
Starts doing keto diet like at 40 years old.
I should start doing keto diet. Just destroyed my own chair.
Oh my God.
Uh,
Okay, so no, but being honest, Paul Craig has improved a little bit. He's a more comfortable striker now. He has gotten better as an offensive wrestler, and sadly, I don't think none of that will matter because Jamal Hill is fucking huge and a good athlete.
Yeah, Paul Craig looks jacked, but he's not actually a good athlete in any way. He's kind of one of those weirdly
good heart. He's strong, but Yamaha, he's fucking huge, man. Didn't look small next to OSP, like at all.
Fuck the shit.
And I don't like Yamaha at all, but he's like, okay, he knows how to do stuff, and he finds openings and goes for them, so I gotta respect that. He's just a way better athlete, and he's bigger than Paul Craig, so I just gotta pick Hill.
All right, so Hill is still undefeated, isn't he? His his wins. His last win was a TKO. Okay. Oh, I guess. Paul Craig is probably going to get dropped a whole bunch, and if he's able to somehow grab hold of Hill, I'm pretty sure he could win. But
I'm not sure we can trust Hill's grappling here and Craig. Yeah. And if there's one thing you can trust about Paul Craig is his grappling, he's actually pretty solid. Like
it's light heavyweight, so you can't trust anyone here. It's
such
a stupid division.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just going to pick the bigger guy that's more athletic. So Jamal Hill, stoppage, nothing else to say.
Okay, Pat Wyman.
Give me the jacked boys.
Picking the muscle man.
He's not even jacked. Like he has like a super like weird physique. Have you seen that guy?
Yeah, I'm looking at his topology page right now. He just looks kind of like a normal guy who's a bit in shape. A guy who just lifts weights sometimes.
Fucking huge, like.
His nickname is Sweet Dreams, but he does not really have all that many knockouts, which is really funny.
I mean, even the OSP stoppage was like a standing like referee intervention, like he wasn't knocked out at all. So.
Yeah. I'm not picking anyone. I don't care. I'm going to skip this one.
Moving on to fights that actually matter.
Moving on to fights that are actually probably going to be good. Drew Dober versus Brad Riddell. Finally, Riddell isn't fighting a wrestler.
This one is great. Great. I mean, Dober
Battle of the Chats.
Yeah. Dober actually a pretty decent offensive wrestler. We'll see.
Yeah, it's quite possibly the only fight in which Brad Riddell is actually the uglier man.
Yeah.
It's just weird. He's finally met his match. Dober's best shot, I think, would be to try and grind it out a bit. Try to wear on Riddell.
I mean, I think exploiting like some tendencies that kickboxers have, like they don't like when people move around a lot, and Dober is pretty mobile. So I think he should like circle, put up a pace, like try to not get leg kicked and cross countered to death. And if the takedown is there, go for it. Like,
Kickboxers do not like getting MMA'd. Just
yeah,
try and
so
him.
just do the MMA thing. Like, all the MMA tropes. Move around like a stupid asshole. Throw overhands every second.
Fight from 15 feet away. Run
Switch
into
on every combination.
just be an annoying asshole.
Yeah,
And
being an annoying asshole. And I actually, if he's an annoying asshole, I give him a pretty good shot at this fight.
yeah, but otherwise, if Dober has been trying to put together a functional striking game lately, he's actually looked like a
He's actually very good.
like a decent basic kickboxer. So I think he's just going to do that instead of looking for ways to MMA Riddell. But
Riddell,
the shot, yeah,
Brad
go ahead.
has lapses. Brad has lapses on the defense.
Yeah.
Like, and especially when he like gets caught off guard, and Dover has turned into a very big hitter. Like, I would say he hits harder than Riddell. Like, Riddell
Yeah.
is like a 60% kind of puncher. He can punch really hard when he wants to, but Dover like ices dudes when he got him on the chin. So the chance of the knockout, I think it goes both ways for this one.
Yeah, it's kind of back and forth, kind of 50-50 on this one. But I mean, Riddell, if he weathers, I guess the storm, weathers the grind, if Dober decides to do so, and if Riddell kind of goes past the first half of the fight, I think he could overtake Dober in exchanges.
Yeah, I think the fight late gets very interesting because maybe Dober finds a way to wrestle him down the line, but the striking exchanges, I think Riddell is gonna figure him out the longer it goes. The more exchanges is the more data for Brad, and I think that favors him.
Yeah,
He's more adaptable, and he has just has a better language of combinations to deal with the pocket.
yeah. I guess I'm picking Riddell.
I'm going to go Dover here, so we split this one.
Yeah, I'm going Riddell late, and you're going
Dover by
just
decision.
going
I think.
Dober.
Yeah, it's. But anyway, great fight. One of the best in the card. Awesome shit.
And then
F the chat for Tumen's chair. So.
R.I.P. chair. Gonna get a new one, I guess, next week. Back to light heavyweight. For fuck's sake.
Shit! This is like
Eric
heavyweight,
Anders.
and these are middleweights, but whatever.
Yeah. Eric Anders versus Darren Stewart. Darren Stewart, the man, the British man who looks very strangely a lot like Tyron Woodley, but does not fight anything like Woodley, which is a plus. But dropped the decision to Kevin Holland. How do you do that?
That was kind of close. I think there's an argument for Stewart there, but I'm not going to rewatch that fight, so don't ask me.
I mean, watching Kevin Holland fight actually makes me like irrationally annoyed. I just want him to shut up and fight. So
like Holland does like cool stuff sometimes, and all I think is like, why are you not this all the time? Why are you gonna be so stupid the rest of the time? Like,
I mean, it kind of seems like Kevin Holland has some kind of disorder, just a really severe ADHD or something like that. But I don't know. I'm not really a specialist to diagnose things like that.
This fight is so not exciting. We're talking about fucking Kevin Holland. So.
Yeah, Eric Anders. What's to say about Eric Anders? Even Eric Anders is the man who got.
He's your boy.
Why do like light heavyweights and middleweights have the best nicknames? Just why? Like every time you watch it you look at a lightweight, the nickname is always some kind of like fucking, I don't know, the
Pitbull.
body snatcher, pitbull, body snatcher, crusher, bam bam, and then you got like David's executive branch.
This one is great. It's Jaboy versus the dentist. Like, come on, those are top tier nicknames. And there was like an interview, and Darren Stewart was like complaining because his whole gimmick of the dentist was like wearing a face mask going into the cage, but now everyone wears a face mask. So.
I mean, I guess he could like paint the mask to look like it's covered in blood because he's the dentist. So.
Okay, so the first fight ended with a dick shot. Always nice to see that. So yeah, Anders was surprisingly trying to push the pace, and I think a knee to the dick.
Oh yeah, it was an illegal knee. It's a rematch. First round, final stretch of the first round gets. Anders landed an illegal knee to Stewart's head.
Yeah.
It was a downed opponent.
Oh, it was a down opponent. I really thought it was a knee to the balls, but I guess not. No, it was a down opponent, and then Stewart couldn't continue.
I mean, we just wanna see people's balls get demolished every time we watch a fight. That's just how it is.
The CMB FC. To be honest, I don't have a read on this one. Like Stewart's more aggressive. Anders usually gasses, but Anders can wrestle sometimes. But then I don't know, man. I'm just going. I'm going Stewart by decision, but I have no idea. Like I mean, I've seen a lot of fights from both fighters, and I have no idea. So.
Yeah, just kind of. I've seen plenty of Anders fights, and he's kind of like background noise in my head. I just don't know what to say about him. Darren Stewart, also nothing to say about him. So, moving on. Women's flyweight. Lauren Murphy versus John Calderwood.
Okay, so I gotta start saying I used to be like a very big JoJo fan. So
until
I don't know why.
I mean, until what happened?
He's
such an exciting fighter.
Being bad. No. I don't think she's bad, but she's very limited. And I think this is exactly the kind of bad fight for her. Like Murphy is like competent everywhere. She's not great, but she's physical and knows how to do everything. And so I basically think Murphy's going to do an MMA on JoJo.
Yeah,
JoJo should be the better striker, but when girls start mixing up the wrestling, she starts eating overhands all the time, and Murphy's a girl that likes her overhand, like her takedown. So yeah, not much to say.
JoJo is one of those. JoJo is one of those MMA strikers who are kind of not really great at striking because they're not great at MMA overall. So they always get MMA'd. So
yeah, I mean, if you give JoJo her range, he's like super fun to watch because she knows how to set stuff up and just has a good knack to find openings and shit. But sadly, she doesn't get her range all the time. So yeah, and Murphy's solid. Like has like super good top control. Can strike decently. I mean, she's like Roxy, but more athletic. So that's bad news for most girls.
Yeah, I guess Lauren Murphy via MMA.
Yeah, pretty much. That's
featherweight.
How we call it.
Featherweight, Mafsar Yevloyev.
My
Hakim
boys.
Dawodu.
Why do you do that to my boys? But this fight's great, actually.
Yeah, great fight, bad matchmaking.
Evloev. And pretty much, I mean, Derwodu, pretty cool striker, a bit passive, I think. He likes to counter and doesn't have many tools to make guys lead. But
Yeah,
he's very fun to watch, like very good clinch game, aggressive with the knees. At range, he has good counter punching. He goes to the body on the counter a lot. That is cool. But sadly, the judges sometimes don't see that. And he also is great at defending kicks. Like he catches kicks and returns with counter kicks. Very cool. Evloev, on the other hand, like is the MMA guy on this fight.
Yeah,
he
Evloev is kind of like Evloev is kind of like your typical Russian MMA guy who can kind of do everything okay-ish.
Yeah, like
he's okay everywhere.
You have three kinds of Russian MMA guys. Like you have the Sanda guy that just spins like an idiot and has cool takedowns and then doesn't know anything to do from top position. Then you have the Habibs that are like the guys that try to wrestle all the time. And then you have like the MMA guys that know how to do everything. And out of them, I think Evloev is one of the coolest. Like he's very fun to watch too. He's very active. He has a good jab. All the time mixing the threat of takedown. He knows how to kick. He has stellar takedown defense. So yeah, it's pretty good.
Yeah, it's probably gonna be
trouble from Hakim that Evloev has so many tools and he's very active.
Yeah, the thing about Evloev is that his game would probably allow him more looks that would, I guess, trick the judges into thinking he's won, even if he doesn't.
I think it's very probable that Hakim will land harder every round, but Evloev will make up for that with volume and with takedown attempts. And maybe he can actually get takedowns. And if he can get takedowns, I think he will have a lot of success. I don't trust Hakim from his back.
Yeah, so unless if Evloev isn't able to really wrestle Hakim, his style lends itself more to looking good in front of the judges than Hakim's does. Hakim just kind of sometimes likes to hanging out with his back on the fence a bit too much, even when he connects really well and a lot.
Yeah, bad optics for MMA.
Just do not see it.
The theme of this card is the guy that knows MMA is going to win.
Knows MMA in more ways than one.
Except on the Adesanya versus Vettori. Vettori could MMA, but probably won't. So.
Could MMA, but does not have the brain for MMA.
So Evloev by MMA again. That's the pick, I think.
Yeah, Evloev either by MMA or judging fuckery.
Yeah, pretty much. But great fight. If you want to watch some fight from the prelims, be it this one because it's great.
Yeah. So the prelims, good fights. Dober, Riddell, Evloev, Dawodu. Those are the ones to look out for. And now we're way down to the
not good fights.
Women's bantamweight, Penny Kanzad versus Alexis Davis. Do we have anything to say about women's bantamweight?
Yeah, actually, I don't know why, but I have some things to say. Sadly, I have things to say about this. So yeah, I mean, Penny Kanzad, very physical. She's big and she has cardio. She's competent everywhere. I mean, for the division, she's not great, but she can put on a pace, has clinch game, can strike okay, can top position. Alexis Davis, also very functional everywhere, but sadly, she's old, she's not big, and she's not athletic. So Alexis Davis, like, actually pretty cool on the ground.
So and basically, Sandro is going to root for Alexis Davis, is what you're saying.
Alexis Davis, not the kind of fighter that Pat Wyman would like. So.
Pat Wyman would not like Alexis Davis, but Jab Zuda on Twitter would definitely like Alexis Davis. I would
Yeah,
say even more than he likes Jessica, Evil Eye.
but yeah.
Here we go, Evo. Here we go.
Oh my god, one of the worst moments, or the best, depending on how you look at it.
Penny
Was that
Kanzad.
before? Was that before the Valentina fight?
I don't actually remember. I think it was.
I hope not.
I mean, it makes the whole thing even funnier. So there's that.
Okay, so
Right, I guess
yeah,
Kanzad.
I'm just picking Kansas because she's bigger, she's stronger. Like,
Yeah. Once
Yeah,
again,
yeah.
featherweight. Should be, I guess, decent. Chase Hooper versus Steven Peterson.
no, I had Fribola versus McKinney first. Is that fight still? Is that a fight that is going to happen?
I think it's oh yeah, I think it's happening still. Yeah, there was the Frivola, I think was supposed to. Oh, McKinney was supposed to fight Camacho. I think Camacho pulled out, and then he got Frivola. Hang on,
Oh yeah. I think you're right.
there was some fuckery there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway,
I mean, which one? Let me see. That's the fight. Okay, which one is McKinney? Oh, McKinney comes from LFA. Actually, I haven't seen him. When I researched the card, he didn't come by, so I don't know anything about him. Fribola actually pretty okay. He would be like top 5 in light heavyweight, but sadly for him, he's in a good division. So, but no, Fribola is cool. I mean, he's not cool. I don't like him, but he's decent. He knows how to do everything. Puts on a pace. He's physical. So yeah, I don't know. I can't make a prediction because I don't know anything about Terence Mckinney.
yeah, tough to say. I guess McKinney has a lot of.
McKinney lost to Shang Woodson, the best prospect in the world, on Contender Series. So there's that. No shame in losing to Shang Woodson, obviously.
A lot of early finishes, because apparently he was fighting some people who are not really good or not very athletic. So
I would favor a Frivola over an early finisher because he's tough as shit and he can put on a pace on later rounds. So yeah, I'm picking Frivola just because of that.
Frivola has been hanging for quite a long time at lightweight, and you can't hang at lightweight unless you're tough and can push a pace.
Yeah.
So and there's that. So I guess we're favoring Frivola, but not picking.
Yep.
Confidently. And back to Chase Hooper versus Steven Peterson.
Yes.
Chase Hooper is apparently the youngest ever guy who got signed in the UFC, and I don't know anything about him aside from that.
He beat up the Bad Tamer brother, the one that sucks. And yeah, I mean, Chase Hooper whole deal is he gets his ass kicked and then he somehow gets the fight to the ground, and he's actually pretty good on the ground. He's fun to watch there, but he has like no good wrestling, and his striking he has good ideas, but he's very slow, and he doesn't have the experience to make those ideas work. So, yeah.
So he's kind of like if Matt Joya became an MMA fighter, is what you're saying.
pretty much. Except
no.
I don't think Chase Hooper is getting tapped by Ben all the time. So.
Steven Peterson, oh god, dog shit tattoos, just terrible. Who does that?
Oh, I don't know, man. The steel Superman shit, like.
Just terrible.
And he probably has that tattoo for that Shaquille O'Neal movie. Like, do you remember that?
You know what he should have done? He should have gotten the Meteor Man tattoos. Remember that movie?
Oh my god.
There he is. There he is. The Meteor Man.
I always saw that fucking shit at Blockbusters. Fucking Meteor Man. Yeah, but I mean, Peterson is okay at striking. He had this stupid finish in the last fight where Martin Bravo went to a spinning back fist and Peterson also went to a spinning back fist. So
Yeah.
we got the Beyblade finish.
It was
Let's
also
whip.
how appropriate. It was also on the Yair Rodriguez versus Jeremy Stevens card.
Exactly. It was in Mexico, and then he tried to talk to the people in Mexico, like, my name is Ocho, and tried to connect with Mexicans because his nickname is in Spanish or something. I don't know, man. But yeah, in the feed, Peterson has a big advantage, but Peterson is that kind of
Mexico.
Hey, like taco, my name is Ocho. But yeah, Peterson should have a pretty good advantage on the feet, but he's pretty messy, and I think that will give Hooper openings to like grab a clinch and drag the fight to the ground somehow. And as I said, like Hooper is like a meme, but he's actually pretty decent on the ground. I mean, he made an Imanari role work on MMA, so you gotta give him that. And he was getting his ass kicked for the whole fight, as tradition.
So like a real Tony Ferguson he is.
So yeah, I'm just picking Hooper by submission, but not very confident at all, obviously.
I mean, I guess I'm picking Stevenson to do something dumb on the feet and get himself submitted. So there you go.
Pulling count.
Yeah. Lightweights, Fares Siam versus Luigi Vendramini. The people would know Wikipedia pages, but I guess I've got Topology.
This should be fun, actually. Like, both are strikers and both are exciting. So yeah, I mean, from the lower half of the card, this one should be pretty fun. Siam is like super tall, like he's like a low kick and counter kind of guy. He's pretty good.
Yeah, he's really lanky.
Yeah, and he's skinny. Like, he's not like James Big huge. He's like how would you expect a 6'1" lightweight to look? But Dramini, on the other hand, is like the opposite. He's stocky. He's super explosive. Hits super hard. He's also fun to watch. Like, a lot of meme kicks and shit.
Of course, his nickname is the Italian Stallion. Of course it is. What else would it be? Also, actually, fighting out of Brazil.
Yep.
And Ziam is from Bulgarian top team. Okay.
Okay. He's from France and fights out of Bulgarian top team.
I guess someone told him that Sambo is the bestest thing in the world to learn. So he, instead of going to, I don't know, Dagestan, he decided to go to Bulgaria. But then again, the MMA fighters always just do these really weird decisions. I must learn from the original source, and they just go, travel the world for no good reason, spend tons of money.
Just hire a wrestling and a boxing coach, and your life will be much easier.
I mean, wrestling coaches also don't really take all that much money compared to some other coaches.
Yeah.
Just hire a wrestling coach.
My read on this fight is like Siam is very tall and has like the head like super upright, and Vendramini can throw hit. So I'm just picking Beltramini to fuck him up with an overhand or something. That's all my read.
Yeah, I like short, stocky guys who throw overhands because that's what I am. So no bias here. Completely unbiased. Luigi Vendramini pick. Luigi Vendramini. He's gonna cook the spaghetti out of Fares Ziam. That's my just
And
being playfully racist.
And maybe a sneaky Brazilian pizza too.
Yeah, you know what Adesanya should have done for this for his like harassment campaign of Vettori, the build-up of the fight. Just
send
pictures of Brazilian pizza everywhere.
Stupid Brazilian pizzas, yeah.
Yeah.
that story of Vettori asking to be allowed to cook on a restaurant because the food sucked. What a fucking meathead, but
the quintessential ideal Italian man.
Said rooting super hard for Vettori.
Right, the real main event.
The real main event is here.
Carlos Felipe versus Jake Collier.
Big boys.
Carlos Felipe, you may know him from that.
Carlos Felipe nickname is actually Boy.
With an I?
Yes. Oh, that's great. That's fucking great, man.
Boy.
Jake Collier is the prototype, and I wonder if
the prototype.
when he was skinny, he was the prototype from being fat.
and now he's the production model.
Yeah. With a lot more caution.
Jake, the mass-produced Collier.
But actually for heavyweights this should be fun because these are just boys that go to the punch very hard, so that should be fun.
Yeah.
Like
not also really like real heavyweights, they're just fat as fuck.
Yeah, fat as fuck. So these are middleweights that just got super fat.
Yeah.
In the case of Felipe, maybe even a welterweight. He's like small.
Yeah, Felipe had that really fun fight with Justin Tafa. Fun meathead.
Yeah, that was actually very watchable. And yeah, Felipe is fun because he goes to the body a lot and like just punches a lot and has a good chin, has cardio.
He kind of likes to pretend that he's an old-timey pugilist. Does behind the shoulder type of thing and inside fighting.
Sometimes it works. Like it's cool for heavyweight standards. And Collier is actually like for heavyweights like pretty cool too. Like he looked pretty good versus Jan Villante. He lost a bit of weight. He wasn't like 280 anymore. He was like just your average.
He actually made the heavyweight limit.
Yeah,
that's how in shape he was.
But Collier actually, despite being fat, he's still like athletic. He can kick very, very well, and he actually like because he used to not be a heavyweight. He has like a functioning brain.
It does not have the big.
Yeah. But he actually set up stuff and he knows how to grapple and wrestle a little bit, so he's pretty okay. I'm going with Collier because despite being the former middleweight, he's naturally bigger than Felipe and he's more complete. I think the kicks will trouble Felipe. But either way, this should be fun, the main event.
I'm just thinking it's going to be stupid. It's heavyweight.
I mean, it's gonna be stupid as fuck, but
it's gonna be so fucking stupid, fucking dumb.
But when 99% of heavyweights fight are stupid as fuck, I'd rather be this kind of stupid.
Yeah, pretty much. So, checking out my hairline. Looks terrible. All right.
If Gibbs wants to sponsor us, we're here all night.
Yeah. That's pretty much it. I'm not really even picking anyone. I guess I'm going with Collier as well, unless Felipe just bonks him, which
Yeah.
Collier could also do. I mean, who cares?
Who the fuck cares?
It's fat boys. Fat boys fighting fat fuck in a barrel. What could be better? A big fucking fat guy in a barrel. Shout out Jabzuda, the best Twitter
the Italian
account.
dream.
Oh,
So, finally, that's all the fights in this fucking card. We didn't make much sense for most of this shit, but you guys wanted it. I don't know who, because no one asked for this, but I know
someone
you guys
wanted
it. Yes. So there you go. An hour breakdown of the whole card by two guys with a funny accent. So what else you can ask for in life?
You may have even understood half the things that we were saying.
If you're lucky, you understand some of the shit we were talking. So yeah, please do the Patreon plug now.
All right. Did we even introduce ourselves in the beginning?
No, we did not. I put some stupid cards on when I did this.
All right. We have been. You have been listening to this crap for some reason for an entire hour. This has been me, Iggy, the host of TENGRIDOME and other stuff. And Feño does video breakdowns for us. Just in case you're still here for some reason.
In case you're still here and you don't know who the fuck we are.
Yeah. Right. Check out the fight site, our website, where we put out analytical stuff, our articles, and check out our Patreon. And recently, Ad Gala has started a Patreon series called Bad Calls, where he evaluates terrible MMA judging. Speaking of going way back, we pointed out that MMA judging is quite terrible, and he goes back and revisits fights that are notoriously have been either robberies or just controversial judging, and he actually scores the fights because he actually knows how to score fights. Go and check that out, and just visit. Look us up on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever you listen to podcasts. We just put out a ton of stuff every week.
Yeah. Also, if you give us money on Patreon, you can ask Iggy to talk about whatever shit you want on TENGRIDOME or something. Or I can also make a video for you, an MMA video, hopefully, not like a video about your parents fighting.
I mean, if you pay us enough money,
I mean, if you give me the footage,
make a video about your parents fighting.
I will analyze the footage of your parents fighting
with the graphs and the lines and arrows and percentages and everything.
You guys love the arrows, so. and I'll make a whistle-like prediction, like 92.78% your dad beats your mom.
99.9% likelihood that this is going to lead to a divorce.
Yeah.
All right. You can join our Discord community for $5 per month. This grants you access to all the stuff that we've put out over the years, and you'll get the privilege of interacting with everyone on stuff. We're pretty active there, and talk shit with some other community members who are also into MMA and fighting in general. We're pretty much all just psychos there. If you're a psycho and you're still here, you definitely.
If you're a psycho, hit us up. Hopefully with money.
Definitely with money.
Yeah.
All right, this has been the UFC 263 full preview of the entire card. For some reason, we've
No
done
one
this.
asked this.
And yeah,
See you guys.
see you guys. Cheers. Bye bye.